Hey travelers, welcome back to Laura's Travel Talk. Today we are going to the breathtaking Belgium on my top 5 bucket list. In the next 2 years, I will be there. This place, if you've never looked at Belgium, it has jaw-dropping architecture, medieval history, World War I, World War II history, famous foods, like maybe some chocolates. Some of the towns are cobblestone and there's canals and it looks like a fairy tale and it looks like you just stepped back into time. It is unbelievably fabulous, from Bruges to Brussels. Wonderful country. So sit back and let's take a look at Belgium. So our first stop is Antwerp. Antwerp is Belgium's second largest city. And it's a trendy hub of fashion, art, history. It's got the famous Diamond District. Who doesn't love that? And it's got the stunning Cathedral of Our Lady. And it's also the hometown of painter Paul Rubens. And I put some links in the description for all of these places. Rubens has a lot of paintings. He's the man that painted a lot of full-figured women, and then he's got some pretty graphic, paintings. So take a look for yourself. But you can visit the cathedral and you can see Rubens' masterpieces inside. And, you can browse along the shops. Here is the central station. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Train station. Or you can just hang out in the town square and, go do some shopping. That's Antwerp, second largest city. Get over there. So before we move on to the next stop, I want to remind you that in the description is a link to all the places in this video. And I also added some links to some great travel necessities that most people want or need. So if you click on those, it'll take you to Amazon and get you to the page of some of the items that I find really helpful. So let's move forward, and we're going to Dinant. Dinant is a picture-perfect town. It's got dramatic cliffs. Look at that. A beautiful riverside cathedral and a hilltop citadel. It's also the birthplace of Adolphe Sax, the inventor of the saxophone. Where would we be without a saxophone? I love saxophones. You can go up to the citadel up there, up on the top of that cliff, or you can take a little tram up there. They're calling it a funicular, but since it's on a cord, I think it's more of like a skyway tram. But it looks like a stunning town. There's the river down below, the Meuse River, that you can see once you're up to the top of the citadel. But what a great place. Get out and see Dinant. So our next stop is Bastogne. And if you are a World War II history buff, you got to go to Bastogne. It is the site of the Battle of the Bulge, one of World War II's most significant battles. And it's home to the Martyrs Memorial and the Bastogne War Museum. This is the memorial, and it is dedicated to the U.S. soldiers who fought in the battle. And you can see it from the aerial there, and then the museum is off in the background. And then they have this display of the Screaming Eagles to represent the U.S. troops. And then they have the museum, and they have some artifacts from the time, and they have it set up in a way that looks like it would have looked when the guys were out there fighting. And the Battle of the Bulge, if you are not aware, was huge. And they had awful conditions. It was below zero temperatures. They were out in the middle of the snow. They were freezing. They were starving. And when it was over, there were 19,000 U.S. soldiers dead. 47,000 were injured. 23,000 were missing. And the Germans had 100,000 plus killed as well. So the city of Bastogne was saved. And an historical fact is that in December of 1944, Bastogne was surrounded by German forces along with the 101st Airborne with no way out. and it was Patton's Third Army that rescued the 101st Airborne against all odds. Fantastic. So I'm such a crybaby, baby. I have to keep stopping the tape. Sorry about that. I just wanted to point out that the Battle of the Bulge is significant, and I think everybody should know about it. The city of Bastogne and the country of Belgium really honors American troops and what they did and how they stood up. And, surrounded by German forces, and they broke through with Patton, and they were able to, fight the battle and hold the line. It's incredible. So, that is the city of Bastogne. Get out and see it. And before I move on, I think that part of it got cut off in Bastogne because I had to keep stopping the tape. But if you have not seen the show Band of Brothers, which is a 5 or 6 part series about the Battle of the Bulge, it is completely realistic. And if you watch it, you will become a World War II aficionado. It'll show you all about this Battle of the Bulge. It's incredible. So now we're going to move on to Leuven. Leuven is a great town. It's home to one of Europe's oldest universities. It was founded in 1425. 1425. And besides that, it is the birthplace of Stella Artois beer. I mean, come on, priorities. You can take the Stella Artois brewery tour and enjoy some tasting, or you can visit the university and the university library. I mean, this library looks fantastic. I only have just one angle of the view there, but it's beautiful. And then there's the Stella Artois brewery. It's a 25-minute train ride from Brussels, so I think you should get out to Leuven, especially if you like beer. So our next stop is Ghent and the Gravenstein Castle in Ghent. Why is it great? Well, look at these canals that you can just, go up and down on in the boat. They're beautiful. You can see the city from the water. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. But if you go to the castle, it's a 12th century castle in the heart of Ghent. It's got a moat and it's got towers, and it's got a gruesomely fascinating medieval torture museum. Well, 12th century in the 1100s. Come on, people. It's great for history buffs and families alike. It's a great place to visit. But what they do is they do a self-guided audio tour, and it's witty and informative, and they kind of try to make light of some of the history. But they do actually show you some of the torture devices, like the chair with the spikes. Machines that you were put on and stretched and put in the stocks there. My gosh. But if you visit and look up at dusk when the castle is lit, it's gorgeous. Otherwise, you can just go down to the vibrant square, grab a local brewer afterwards, and, enjoy the city of Ghent, because that castle looks fabulous on its own. Get out to Ghent. So our next stop is Bruges. Bruges is a historic city center, and if you tell people you're going to Belgium, the first thing they'll say is, "Oh, you got to go to Bruges. It's so fantastic." Well, my husband has been to Bruges when he was stationed in Europe, when he was in the Air Force, and he has told me the same thing. And if you go during the holidays, it's fantastically lit up, and it's like a fairy tale village. It has charming architecture, and it's like stepping into a postcard or a fairy tale. I mean, look at this place. What a great place to visit or have a great weekend. It's got canals, chocolate shops, cobblestone streets, charming architecture. It just doesn't get any better than this. And it's got the market square, and you can go try artisan chocolates or go to the small shops, or you should go out to the town square, and then the building there on the left is the Belfry of Bruges, and you can go up the 366 steps and get a panoramic view of Bruges. Look at this place. It is like a fairy tale. So that's, again, on the top of my bucket list. I say we should all get out to Bruges and make a week of it. Our next stop is Brussels, the Grand Place. Why is it great? Well, the Grand Place is Brussels' magnificent central square and an UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's surrounded by ornate guild halls and stunning town hall, and it makes it one of the most beautiful squares in Europe. I put these pictures in because every 2 years in August, they put out a flower carpet. It looks like a giant carpet in the middle of the square, and it's made of flowers. Really? That's not pretty at all. Wow. And if you visit early in the morning, there's less crowds. Or if you go at night, it's all lit up, and it looks so pretty when it's all illuminated like that. You can grab a coffee or a Belgian waffle from a cafe on the side street. I mean, it's a beautiful down in the square there, and just kind of hang out with the locals. So enjoy Brussels. Well, we can't leave Belgium without looking at some of their fantastic food. First up is Belgian fries, which is known as Belgian Frites. They are served with mayonnaise, not ketchup. It's not for everybody. And then, what are we doing with Belgium without talking about the chocolate? It's some of the best chocolate in the world. That one on the bottom right, gluten-free, fudge, and then all the different kinds of chocolate. Holy cow. And the next one is Belgian waffles. There's two types. They have the dense and sugary, these real thick ones, and then they have the light and crispy ones that are thinner and just have a little syrup or cinnamon on them. They're really good. And then they have the Carbonnade Flamande, which is a delicious Flemish beef stew cooked with beer. Flemish is the Dutch language and also known for the people in that area. And then we have the pain à la Grecque, which, despite its name, which means Greek bread, it's actually a sweet bread, and it's unique to Brussels. And those look really good. They look like they're really crisp. So I want to thank you for watching. It's just a fantastic country. You got to get out there. It's got a whole lot of different things to see. Fairytale villages, cobblestone streets, dungeons, medieval towns, world-class beers, chocolates, historic battlefields. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This place is fantastic. If you would, give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments, and in the description, again, I'm leaving some links to all the places that we talked about, and then there's also some links to some travel items for Amazon, so you can go to that as well. And I will see you next week, and in the meantime, try not to eat too much chocolate. Bye.